Hey guys! In this video we are going to be checking out the best baking and pastry utensils. You can buy it right now. We made this list based on our personal opinion and hours of research, and we have listed them based on the type of features and price. We have included options for every type of user, so whether you are looking for the best budget. If you want more information and updated pricing on the product mentioned, be sure to check the links in the description below. So let's get started with the video. Number 1. KitchenAid Kitch Mixer. The Artisan 5-quart is a bit less expensive, but the difference between a 5-quart and a 6-quart bowl is great enough that one think it's worth the extra money to buy the larger of the two. While I actually prefer a tilt head mixer to a lift mixer, at least for home use, the 6-quart bowl trumps a tilt head. Another check in the plus column for the 6-quart professional mixer is the direct drive transmission. This means fewer moving parts, which translate to fewer chances for it to break or for you to strip out your gears. I read the description of the 5-quart Artisan mixer and it did not specify what sort of transmission it has. Usually, manufacturers like to promote the direct drive, so that leads me to believe that the Artisan mixer doesn't have it. Since the professional 6-quart has a bowl lift, it is a bit taller than the Artisan, so you won't be able to store it on the counter under your upper cabinets as you would an Artisan. If space is an issue, or you don't want to hurt yourself hauling your mixer out of the bottom cabinet every time you want to bake, you may also be happier with an Artisan. Number 2. Norpro Stainless Steel Chopper. This guy is essentially a bench knife, used for scraping dough off of your work surface by holding the edge down against the counter and scraping up the stuck dough. I use it all the time. Not only for scraping dough, but just for cleaning the counter in general, especially if I've made a big fat mess. It will pull together flour, cornmeal, carrot peels, whatever you have scattered all over your work surface. I also often use it to transfer chopped ingredients from my cutting surface to a pan or pot. The broad surface works really well and can hold a lot of stuff, and if you are leery of using the flat of your chef's knife for this purpose, it might be right up your alley. I've also used the flat of the bash and chop to crush the garlic. I've never actually chopped with it, preferring to use an actual knife for that part of the production, but I can safely say that I use my bash and chop multiple times a week. It will last forever unless I lose it, no moving parts. Another use. Use it to cut out square biscuits or shortbread. So, even though I don't actually chop with it, I do use it for cutting, and portioning out dough for weighing to make equal-sized buns or rolls. Number 3. A Scali Primo 5 kg scale. If you think you're a serious baker and you don't have a scale, then you're not a serious baker. Weighing your ingredients is so much more accurate than using volume measures for ingredients that can pack down, flour being the most critical. It's also so much easier to use a scale. I promise you I was as skeptical as you might be right now, but it is so much easier to weigh your ingredients right into a bowl. Press the tare button to return the scale to relative zero and then add another ingredient right on top. I still use measuring spoons for salt, baking powder, etc., but I pretty much only use my dry measuring cups for scooping ingredients into a bowl while it's on the scale. Technically, the only liquids that weigh exactly 8 ounces per cup are water, whole milk, and whole eggs. I still weigh my cream in half and a half at 8 ounces per cup and have never had anything awful happen. I own this very model, although mine is a few years old. I got it in culinary school, and I ended up buying another. In the few years in between, they seem to have started using cheaper plastic. I got some lemon juice on it and didn't wipe it off right away and it ate into the plastic. There are some less expensive scales that can weigh ingredients up to 5 pounds, but I don't think they are very practical, especially if you're starting out with a 2-pound mixing bowl or even a 3 to 4 pound pot for measuring. Number 4. Glass Nesting Bowl Set. The larger bowls are great for whipping egg whites and cream or for use as the top of a double boiler to melt chocolate. Since glass is an insulator, your chocolate, or whatever you want to keep warm, will actually stay warm longer in a glass bowl than in a metal bowl. The smaller bowls are great for cracking eggs into, measuring out small amounts of whatever for your mise en place, or even for holding bench flour for when you're making bread or pastry or other items that require you to flour your work surface. Glass is also non-reactive and non-porous, so once you wash them, they're clean. Unlike plastic bowls that tend to hang onto fat, you can whip cream in your glass bowl, wash it well and then turn around and whip whites in it. knowing that there's no fat left that can impede a really stable foam. I love my nesting glass bowls, and even though 10 seems like overkill, you'll be surprised at how frequently you'll use them. Number 5. Silpat Non-Stick Baking Mat. If you do a lot of baking and don't like to run through parchment paper like it's going out of style, you will love these silicone baking mats. There are other brands out there that do cost less, but I haven't ever used anything but Silpat, so I don't know how the other brands stack up. Silpat is made of a web of fiberglass enveloped by silicone. And pretty much nothing sticks to them. Silpat can easily be accidentally cut. So be very careful. We had one of our pastry cooks cut pâtes de fruit into small squares with a sharp knife while it was still on Silpat, and we ended up with a ton of 1-inch squares of Silpat. Do not cut on them. Otherwise, they are very durable and won't tear or warp. They stay pliable when hot or cold, but they will get just as hot as your oven, so don't think you can pick one up straight out of the oven. Silpat does have a lifespan, but you can use one thousands of times. In real life, that pretty much means one is good for life, as long as you don't end up inadvertently cutting it into tiny pieces. Thanks for watching the video.